Hello, I'm David Hughes. Welcome to Your Perfect Body, the podcast of the Esoteric Teaching Community. Today's selection is an essay entitled Kṛṣṇa is the Controller, Part 3. We have reached the point in our detailed study of Bhagavad-gītā where Arjuna surrenders to Kṛṣṇa as a disciple and concludes his argument by flatly declaring that he will not fight. Arjuna uvaca, evam uktva hrsikesam gudakesah parantapah na yotsya iti govindam tusnim babhuva. Sanjaya said, having spoken thus, Arjuna, chastiser of enemies, told Kṛṣṇa, Govinda, I shall not fight, and fell silent. Bhagavad-gītā 2:9. But by the end of Bhagavad-gītā, Arjuna accepts Kṛṣṇa's order to fight, surrenders fully to him, and fights under his direction. This is devotional service, the primary spiritual method of the esoteric teaching. Bhagavad-gītā begins with Arjuna struggling against Kṛṣṇa and ends with his full surrender to Kṛṣṇa. Bhagavad-gītā is the preliminary study of the esoteric teaching. The lesson of Bhagavad-gītā is to surrender to God, Kṛṣṇa. The esoteric teaching continues in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. The Bhagavatam begins, Dharma projita kaitavotra paramo nyamatsaranang satam vedyam vastavamatra vastu shivadam tapatrayon mudanam Śrīmad-Bhāgavate mahamuni krite kingva parayarishvaraha sadyo hridyavarudyate trakriti sushushabhistat. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated, this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity, is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 1:1-2. Dharma projita kaitavot atra. Now in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, all types of cheating religions are rejected, projita. So the relationship between Bhagavad-gītā and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is that they are both based on the principle of surrender to Kṛṣṇa and devotional service. Bhagavad-gītā is about the process of surrender, but Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam takes up from that point and goes higher, up to pure love of Godhead. After all, real religion means to love God. Therefore, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam says, Savai pungsang paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhokshaje ahaitukya pratihata yayatma suprasidati. The supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 1:2-6. This is a description of first-class religion, and it is non-sectarian. It doesn't necessarily mean that you follow any particular religion. You may follow any religion. It doesn't matter whether you follow Vedic religion or Christian religion or Mohammedan religion, as long as the objective is pure love of Godhead, uninterrupted, unmotivated devotional service. That is the actual standard of self-realization. So if someone demonstrates all the symptoms of pure love of Godhead, then it doesn't matter which religious path he follows. Just like if you have an MA degree, nobody cares which college your degree is from, as long as you have passed your MA examination. Similarly, in spiritual life, our question is whether you are an undergraduate, a graduate, or a postgraduate student of love of God. If someone is on the platform of mundane religion, simply morality and rituals for material gain, then he is not even enrolled in the college. If someone is becoming surrendered to God, then he is an undergraduate on the level of Bhagavad-gītā. If someone's life is completely surrendered to God, then he is a graduate, student of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And if someone displays the symptoms of love of God, then he is a postgraduate and become a professor in the school of authentic spiritual life. So we don't care which religion you have followed, as long as you have passed your graduate examination. You are fit to become a master teacher in this esoteric school. We do not inquire which religion do you follow. We ask whether you are on the ontological platform of morality, surrender to God, or pure love of Godhead. Our objective is to learn the art of loving God, because that is the real standard of religion. We don't care which religious path you took to get there, but we care about real religion. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanang braja ahang tvang sarva papebhyo mokshayasyami masuchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Bhagavad-gītā 1866. This is the beginning of real religion. And Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam says, as we quoted above, Dharma projita kaitava atra. All cheating type of religion is kicked out, rejected from this Bhagavatam. Only nirmat saranang, those who are not envious of God, are accepted as students of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. If someone objects, why shall I love God? Why shall I worship God? Why shall I surrender to God? Then, according to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, they are fools, rascals, and demons. Bhagavad-gītā is to help us learn how to surrender to God, and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is only for those sincere people who are actually serious about learning to love God. Ahaituki apratihata yenatma samprasidati. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. So the real success of life is learning how to love God. Then your heart will be satisfied. Yang lagdva chaparam labham manyate nandikam tata yasmin stito na dukhena gurunapi vichalyate. In that joyous state, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness, realized through transcendental senses. Established thus, one never departs from the truth, and upon gaining this, he thinks there is no greater gain. So if you get Kṛṣṇa, or God, then you have transcended all suffering. Kṛṣṇa means God. If you have another name of God, that's also okay. But God, the Supreme Lord, is the Supreme Person. When you have pure love for this Supreme Person, then you have the greatest attainment possible in human life. Because the loving propensity is there in everyone, but in material consciousness it is misdirected. Therefore Kṛṣṇa says, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam. Kick out all these other objects of love and just love me. Bhagavad-gītā 1866. Loving other things beside Kṛṣṇa will never be able to satisfy you. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam says, Ata sadhotra yat charam samudhritya manaisya bruhi bhadraya bhutanam yenatma suprasidati. O sage, please select the essence of all these scriptures and explain it for the good of all living beings, that by such instruction their hearts may be fully satisfied. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 1:1-11. Yenatma samprasidati. If you want real satisfaction, then you must love Kṛṣṇa, or God. That is the whole philosophy of religion, whether you take Vedic philosophy or any religious philosophy, because, after all, you want satisfaction